Hey, quick question. Have you ever been in an anime conversation where someone says, "Dude, I'm telling you, Cardcaptor's Sakura is one of my favorite shoujo animes of all time." And yeah, maybe it's a lot of nostalgia, but
Man, what does Shojo even mean? I have no idea what this guy's talking about. I'm just gonna nod and pretend I know what he's talking about. Huh. Hmm. Is that what I sound like in my head? That's weird.
yeah, that's exactly how you sound. Whoa, you can hear my thoughts? Yeah, of course I can hear you. I'm you. Anime fans love using these terms, like we got the same orientation packet, but not everyone has this knowledge. So, I wanted to talk to you guys today about Shonen, Shoujo, Seinen, and Josei, what they actually mean, who they're aimed for, and why people argue about it like it's some sort of personality trait. Shonen is where most anime fans start, not because it's basic, but it's designed to be inviting. Shonen is aimed towards young teen boys, but realistically, it's aimed at anyone who likes watching someone start at zero and slowly grind their way upwards. At its core, Shonen is about growth, not just power growth, emotional growth, confidence, identity, finding your place in the world. That's why the main character usually starts off kind of bad at everything. They're not weak because the writer hates them. They're weak so that you can project yourself onto them. Shonen also loves structure. Training arcs, tournament arcs, rival arcs. And rivals are the most important because nothing motivates protagonists more than someone who's slightly better than them, or a lot better than them, who is also deeply annoying. And of course, Shonen explains its powers constantly, mid-fight, in slow motion, sometimes even twice. This isn't bad writing, it's accessibility. Shonen wants you to understand why this punch matters. Emotionally, Shonen is optimistic to an almost embarrassing degree. It believes hard work counts. It believes that friendship matters, and it believes that failure is temporary. Is it realistic? No, it's not. But is it the reason why people still love it into adulthood? Absolutely. It just makes you want to bring out that part inside of you that screams. Now, shoujo is where a lot of people get it wrong, because shoujo isn't the romance genre, it's emotion-forward storytelling. Now, shoujo is aimed at young teen girls and focuses on relationships, either romantic, platonic, familial, or internal. Romance is common, yeah, but the real focus is on how people feel, not just what they do. Shoujo escalation isn't about power levels, it's about emotional vulnerability. A hand touch can be a lot bigger deal than the final boss. Shoujo also lives in internal monologue. You spend a lot of time inside of a character's head, because that's where most of the conflict is. That's why misunderstandings last a lot longer than usual. Could this have been solved in one sentence? Yeah. Will they? Absolutely not, because that sentence requires a lot of emotional courage. Jojo understands anxiety, self-doubt, and longing way too well, which is why people who don't even watch romance anime still end up emotionally wrecked by the end. Now, seinen is what happened when anime stops asking, can they win? And instead starts asking, should they? Seinen is aimed at adult men, but more importantly, it's aimed at patience. Seinen trusts that the audience is able to sit with this discomfort. Victories don't feel clean. Good people make bad choices, and bad people, sometimes they make a lot of sense. And that's the scary part. Seinen's pacing is a lot slower on purpose. There's more dialogue, a lot more silence, and more moments where nothing happens at all. Because emotionally, something did. Violence in Seinen has weight. The trauma sticks around, and you just don't train it away. If Shonen says you'll get stronger, Seinen says, cool. What did it cost me? And if you finish an episode and sit there thinking, man, that was uncomfortable, congratulations, that was the point. Now, Josei is the category that most people forget exists, until it quietly ruins them. Josei is aimed at adult women and focuses on real adulthood, not idealized adulthood, not dramatic adulthood, just life. Careers that don't define you, but they still drain you. Relationships that don't fail spectacularly, they just fade. and choices that don't have the right answer all the time. Josei romance isn't destiny driven. Sometimes people love each other and it just doesn't work out. And Josei doesn't rush past that. Josei doesn't dramatize the pain, it lets it sit in the room. Which is why somehow it hurts more than shows where someone just gets punched straight through a building. And before people get on me, these aren't genres, they're demographics. Shounen can be dark, Shojo can have action, Seinen can be funny, and Josei can be romantic. Demographics don't equal tone police. Anime breaks its rules consistently, and that's the fun part. So, at the end of the day, none of these labels are boxes that you're stuck in. There are different ways stories reach people at different points in their lives. You might start with Shounen because it tells you that effort matters, and then find Shojo when you need something that understands feeling, but you don't have the words for that yet. Eventually, Seinen shows up and you start asking harder questions, and finally Josei hits you when life gets complicated and there's no clean answer. And honestly, you just don't grow out of it at all. So if you love loud power-ups and quiet conversations, congratulations. That means anime's doing its job. Until next time.